Hello, I'm Karen from Monaghan Libraries, and today I'm going to read you a story called The Baby Giant, written and illustrated by Oisin Mc Gann. So it's a traditional Irish legend of Finn McCool, but written in a new way by Oisin. Many years ago, there was a giant called Finn McCool. He was happy and hairy and was the biggest, strongest giant in Ireland. Finn spent most of his time fighting bullies, but he was a friendly man and he was tired of fighting. One day he said to his wife, "I need a holiday." "Oh, great," she said. "I'd love to go to Scotland, but you know, I don't like going on boats." His wife's name was Una. She wasn't scared of much, but she was scared of the sea. "Don't worry," Finn told her. "I'll build you a bridge." So Finn went down to the seaside. He started digging rocks out of cliffs and jamming in the ground in front of him. Soon they reached far out to the sea, like a bridge. Finn worked for a week. He built a bridge of stones all the way to Scotland. Then he walked all the way back to Ireland across his bridge. When he got home, Finn was, very, very tired. He put on his pyjamas and went straight to bed. "I'm going to sleep, Una," he called to his wife. "Oh, I'm all worn out." "Grand so," said Una. "We can go to Scotland tomorrow when you're feeling better. I'll make some sandwiches and we can have a picnic on the new bridge on our way to Scotland. You have a nice sleep now and I'll wake you in the morning." Una stayed up late, making a huge mountain of sandwiches. As she was going to bed, Una heard a booming sound coming from far across the sea. Boom, boom, boom. She thought it was just the noise of the waves, so she shook her head and went upstairs. "Terrible storm out there," she said to Finn. But Finn was snoring away and didn't even hear her. The next morning the sound was louder. Boom, 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 boom. Finn was still fast asleep, so Una went up to the top of the cliffs on her own. She looked out over the sea. Far out on the stone bridge, Una saw a gigantic man walking towards Ireland. The booming was the sound of his feet hitting the stones. Boom, 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 boom. Una rushed back to the house and into the bedroom. "Finn, wake up," she cried. She shook his shoulder. "There's a great big giant coming from Scotland. He's even bigger and hairier than you." Finn woke up very quickly. "I know him," he said. "He's a bully, and he's as big as two normal giants," Finn said. "He's nasty and mean, and he won't play fair. All Scotland is scared of him. He'll want to fight me. Oh, but I'm too tired for a fight. He'll beat me up for sure." "Don't you worry," said Una. "We'll think of something." They thought hard for a while, and at last they came up with a plan. "We'll have to be quick," said Finn. "I'll go and make the special buns," Una told him. "You make the baby's cot." The booming got louder. The Scottish giant's feet crunched down on the Irish seaside, and the ground shook. Boom, boom, boom. "Where is Finn McCool?" a voice roared. "I want a fight, and I want it now. I'm nasty and I'm mean, and I won't play fair. Come out, Finn McCool," he roared, "if you're brave enough." Finn did not answer. He was too busy making a big wooden baby's cot. Una did not answer, for she was too busy knitting. She was making a huge bonnet and a pair of pyjamas with pictures of teddy bears on them. Her special buns were baking in the oven. Their house began to shake as the Scottish giant walked towards it. Una finished the pyjamas and the bonnet, and Finn quickly put them on. Now he looked like a huge baby. He stuck a big soother in his mouth and climbed into the cot. He pulled a blanket over himself and lay still. The Scottish giant smashed open the door and walked in. He had arms like tree trunks and legs like lampposts, and he had the face of a bulldog. "Where is Finn McCool?" he shouted. "Oh, he's out catching sharks with his teeth," Una replied. "He'll be back in a few minutes. Would you like a bun while you wait?" The Scottish giant grunted, and then he nodded. Una opened the oven and took out a tray of buns. But these were not normal buns. Una had put stones in some of them. She gave a bun to the giant. It had stones in it. She gave a bun to Finn, who was still hidden under the blanket. Finn's bun had no stones in it. Finn took out the soother and popped the bun in his mouth. He ate it in one big bite. But when the giant bit into his bun, it broke his tooth. "Ow! Ow!" screamed the giant. "These are hard buns." "Are they?" said Una. "Well, the baby loves them." She gave Finn another bun. Finn's bun had no stones in it, and he chomped it down easily. Una gave the giant a second bun. This one had stones in it too. "Ouch!" said the giant as he broke some more teeth. "What kind of child likes buns like these?" The giant stood up. He stomped over to take a closer look at the baby. He leaned over the side of the cot and stared down at the big body under the blanket. "How can this be Finn McCool's baby?" he asked. "Look how big he is." "Yes, and he's only 2 years old," said Una. "Isn't he lovely?" "Gaga," said Finn. The giant pulled back the blanket and stirred. He plucked the soother out of Finn's mouth. "Gaga," Finn growled. He jumped up. He was still dressed in his teddy bear pyjamas and his big bonnet. He opened his mouth wide and he bit the giant on the hand. "Ah!" screamed the giant. "That baby nearly bit my hand off." Finn grabbed his soother and put it back in his mouth. "But he's only been friendly," said Una with a smile. "He's just excited. He knows his daddy will be home soon." "Dada," said Finn. The giant stared at the huge thing in the cot. If this was Finn McCool's baby, what kind of monster was Finn McCool? The Scottish giant did not want to find out. He turned and he ran for the door. He ran down to the seaside and across the stone bridge. Then he ran all the way back to Scotland. He even smashed up the bridge behind him so that Finn McCool could not follow him. But Finn did not want to follow him. Finn and Una decided to stay at home for their holidays. They had a picnic down at the seaside and drank apple juice and ate buns with no stones. The end. So that was The Baby Giant by Oisin Mc Gann. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.